Krishna. Which verse we are in? 28. Okay, so we'll start. Omajñānatimirandasya dhanāñjana-śalākaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम।
Rohit, it is audible, na?
Yes, bro. Audible.
Yeah, so Hare Krishna. So we have been discussing this Dhyana Yoga, and we discussed about the symptoms of a person on the advanced stages and of Dhyana, and we discussed about the mind, how the mind is very tricky. So it has to be controlled, just like the child is controlled by parents. So we discussed a lot about mind, and in very important formula we discussed about, wherever mind goes, because of its flickering nature, we should learn to bring it back. So that is a very important formula for dealing with the mind. Okay, so please take next one now.
Hare Krishna. युञ्जानेवं सदात्मानं
युञ्जन्नेव सदात्मानं
योगी विगता कल्मषा
योगी विगतकल्मषः
सुखेन ब्रह्म संस्पर्शम्
सुखेन ब्रह्म संस्पर्शम्
आत्यन्तं सुखम् अश्नुते.
आत्यन्तं सुखमश्नुते.
Translation: thus the self-controlled yogi, constantly engaged in yoga practice, becomes free from all material contamination and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord. Purport: self-realization means knowing one's constitutional position in relationship to the Supreme. The individual soul is part and parcel of the Supreme, and his position is to render transcendental service to the Lord. The transcendental contact with the Supreme is called Brahma Samsparsha.
Yes. So this word is very easily understandable. Brahma Samsparsha. Samyak Rupena Sparsha. So special touch with whom? Brahma. Brahma means Supreme Lord. So that person has touched the Lord. So these series of verses are explaining now the perfection of yoga is realizing super soul. How realizing super soul is actually the perfection of yoga. So previous verse they describe that the yogi who attained this self-realization, who realized that he is not this body but a soul, and who is qualitatively one with Brahman. That should be the realization of yogi. So which a bhakti yogi also achieves the same realization, but not that yogi is same in all respects with the Lord, but a soul is qualitatively one, quantitatively different. So this verse is describing now going beyond the realization of uh, self to the realization of super self. So we know these two realizations, right? Self realization, but above self realization there is God realization. God realization should also follow. Only self realization will not help. Hmm. So that's what this verse is describing, that yogi, he is in touch with Supreme. Hmm. So what happens when you touch with Supreme? Sukhena is transcendental happiness. That is called as Brahma Samsparsham. Hmm. So as such, in our everyday life also we get some Brahma Samsparsham. But how much we do it actually is a question. It depends on individual. We touch Supreme. How we touch Supreme every day? Huh? Chanting holy names. Krishna is not different than his holy names, right? Reading Bhagavad Gita is also Brahma Samsparsha. Although apparently we may be touching laptop or something, but actually it is touching Supreme. This is Brahma Samsparsha is going on currently. And any other deity worship, yeah, or Brahma Prasad. Prasad is also Anna He Purna Brahma. In Marathi there is Udara Varada no he Sadi Jayate Karma. Anna He Purna Brahma. They would say. So that is also Brahma, isn't it? So this is how the touch of the Supreme is obtained. Hmm. And then the person is liberated. So such a liberation is achieved by the yogi when he is practicing with controlled mind and thereby contacting the super soul. So in this way, yogi can gradually progress from impersonal realization to a personal relationship. So previously he had a realization, so it's a step by step now for him. In the beginning he realizes how to keep body very nicely. That's the first realization of yogi. So we also should understand how to keep our body fit and healthy. That is a basic realization. But that realization even animals have. That is not a very great realization, right? When animals know how to keep their body fit. Like cow, if it is given nice, if it is fall sick, the cow has own ability to go and graze a particular types of herbs and can cure itself. So how to keep body fit is realization is attained by animals also. Unfortunately, these days human beings also don't have that realization. So there, I don't know which level they are in now. They are not able to keep their body also fit and healthy. But then above that, then there is a realization of this thing, self, soul, realizing ourselves as spirit soul. Of course, maybe there is little mind realization, whatever, God, subtle body, but then soul realization. But then beyond that, then yogi, when he goes further ahead, if he is fortunate, he understands that there is Brahman. There is impersonal aspect of the law. And so many yogis get stuck up there. Means despite doing so much of kasrat, ultimately वो उधर ही बहुत बार अटक जाती है. That ये Brahman, I am only that Brahman. And he gets stuck up over there. But then eventually when the yogi progresses further, then there is a Paramatma realization. So he realizes the personal aspect of the Lord. Oh, but that is only with some fortunate yogi. Many yogis do not realize that. And the yogi who is further fortunate, he can understand even Bhagwan aspect of the Lord. So he becomes more and more personal understanding becomes clear. So just like Prabhupada gives example that when we see the mountain from a great distance, what we see? Maybe there is some cloud, there is some big structure, but we can't see anything else. But then there is when we go nearer, understand, oh, there are trees also, there is thick jungle in the mountain, there are rocks and all that. And we go further, we understand that, oh, not only there is life, so many animals are staying, even some human beings are also staying. So this is how, from preliminary stage of impersonalism, one goes to the stage of personalism in self-realization. So Bhaktisaraj Thakur, I think, or Prabhupada tells one story of that railway. There is nice cartoon also of that. It's there. So first time railway came to a village, and then they saw, what is this railway? So some people just saw from distance railway was coming. So they said, and they just saw that and went away. So other villagers who did not go to station, they asked, what is the railway? First time it is coming. So it's a light, because it's some light is coming. That's all. It is a moving light. That was their realization. Then some further, some people stayed back, and they saw that railway entered into the platform, and then they saw, oh, it has got bogies also. Beyond light, there are bogies. So some people saw that much only and left from there. So other villagers asked, how is this? What is railway? They said it contains some bogies. Some dabbas are there which are moving. But some people were more patient, and they allowed the railway to stop. Then they entered inside railway, and they saw, oh, there are people sitting in the railway also. Oh, acha, so it carries the people. Oh, wonderful. Then they also went to village. So other people ask, how is railway? They say, oh, there is a light, certainly. Railway has a light, but it has got bogies, and there are people who sit inside and they travel through this railway. So in this way, a progressive realization takes place. Same way here also, the yogi, if he perseveres on his path of self-realization, then eventually from body realization to self-realization to God realization, ultimately it reaches to the Bhagwan realization platform. But if he thinks in between only that, now done, I have got like this, people in between only they went, just they saw light and they went. So वो उधर ही अटक जाता है कि उसको उतना ही रियलाइजेशन आ जाए, चलो ब्रह्मन, दैट्स इट, they think अभी हो गया इधर, बिकॉज वो जो ब्रह्म संस्पर्श है वो भी बहुत सुख है उसमें भी. इनफैक्ट मिस्टिक सिद्धि में भी बहुत सुख है, राइट? We will only faint if we get some mystic siddhi like this. We cannot even imagine somebody having mystic siddhis. So those days, Prabhupada times, there was one place where these people had gathered. One huge theater type of thing was there. People had gathered over there. So Prabhupada said, what's going on over there? That devotee said, he went and found out. He said that there is one person who is barking exactly like a dog. So people have come to see him and hear him, how he barks like a dog, and they are paying huge fees, to see that. So just see, so many dogs are barking, but they are not appreciating that. And this fellow is barking like a dog, and they are appreciating. So this kind of mystic siddhi, some mystic siddhi is there with everyone. But what to speak of his yogic powers? If one gets that, my God, that will be the great, this thing. So, but if yogi persists, understanding that no, this is not the ultimate. I want to reach to ultimate. Till the time he has that firm determination that I want to reach to the ultimate stage. Till that time, otherwise it may happen that he may get stuck up somewhere here and there. So that's why he should try to go to that ultimate platform. So this Brahma Sansparsha, yeah, we can just show it fast.
Bright light.
It will burn us, they are saying. See, they could see some people also. Yeah. So So one achieves such full perfection and bliss by being constant in touch with Supreme, and thus one engages in transcendental loving service of the Lord. So transcendental loving service of the Lord is the culmination of everything. It is the culmination of all processes. So, so what is the basic? But it begins with, Prabhupada writes in the purport that self-realization means defined as knowing one's constitutional position in relation with the Supreme. That means we are part and parcel of Lord, and our constitutional position is to render transcendental loving service to the Lord. And so when one comes in contact with the Lord in this way, that is called as Brahma Samsparsha. Okay, so next verse, 29th.
सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानं
सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानं
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
ईक्षते योगात्मा
ईक्षते योगयुक्तः
सर्वदर्शनः
सर्वत्र समदर्शनः.
True yogi observes me in all things and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord everywhere. Purport. A Krishna conscious yogi is a perfect seer because he sees Krishna, the Supreme, situated in everyone's heart as Super Soul Paramatma, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Viddeshi Abhinatishthati. The Lord in his Paramatma feature is situated within body, the heart of the dog and that of Brahmana. The perfect yogi knows that the Lord is eternally transcendental and is not materially affected by his presence either in a dog or a Brahmana. That is the supreme neutrality of the Lord. The individual soul is also situated in the individual heart, but he is not present in all hearts. This is the distinction between individual soul and the super soul. One who is not factually in the practice of yoga cannot see so clearly. A Krishna conscious person can see Krishna in the heart of both the believer and the non-believer. In the Smriti, Satvata Tantra 3.49, this is confirmed as follows. Atatatvacha matravat atmahi paramo hari. The Lord, being the source of all beings, is like the mother and the maintainer. As the mother is neutral to all different kinds of children, the supreme father or mother is also. Consequently, the super soul is always in every living being. Outwardly, also every living being is situated in the energy of the Lord, as will be explained in the 7th chapter. The Lord has primarily two energies, the spiritual or superior and the material or inferior. The living entity, although part of the superior energy, is conditioned by the inferior energy. The living entity is always in the Lord's energy. Every living entity is situated in him in one way or another. The yogi sees equally because he sees that all living entities, although in different situations, according to the result of in all circumstances, remain the servants of God. While in the material energy, the living entity serves the material senses, and while in the spiritual energy, he serves the Supreme Lord directly. In either case, the living entity is the servant of God. This vision of equality is perfect in a person in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So this is the vision of this perfect yogi. What he sees super soul present in every body. He sees, understand that every person is essentially sacred because Supreme Lord is present in every person. Every living entity has Supreme Lord. And also he sees that all living entities are also there within the Lord. How? How everyone is in Lord?
Lord only created.
Okay, so
because the integration of
material world is the body of Lord.
Virat Rupa. Virat Rupa is there. So everything is lying within the Virat Rupa. So that's why when Krishna opened his mouth, Mayanpro is saying also Virat Rupa. So when Krishna opened his mouth, he showed that Vishwarup, and that everyone was there. So everything and everyone was there in that Virat Rupa. So Krishna could show that. So that shows that everyone, so all of us are situated within Krishna also. So that is a wonderful thing, that Krishna is within us and we are within Krishna, both. So, but this yogi, it is not some intellectual adjustment. It is his vision. Means he gets a vision of that. That perfected yogi, he can see presence of Lord everywhere. Actually, that's the special vision of yogi. So, um, so he sees also that everyone is supported by the super soul. So Prabhupada in the purport, he is mentioning that how the Krishna conscious yogi is perfect seer. Because he sees in everyone's heart super soul, Ishvara Sava Bhutana, and he appreciates the neutrality of the Lord. What is the neutrality of the Lord? That he is not differentiating. Oh, this is dog body. Oh, this is human body. Oh, this is Miss Universe body. Very nice. I will go there. Oh, this is frog's body, or this is a bird's body, or it is tree's body. Lord is not distinct. So he's neutral. So same Lord, he manifests in every place in same way. So it is not so easy, right? Especially if it is told to us that okay, you have to go and stay in Jhopatpatti for some time. How many of us will agree? We won't agree, right? Very difficult. But Lord, he is so neutral and so transcendental by nature that same he manifests same in whether it may be the a demigod Brahma, or it may be worm in the stool. Lord, same Lord manifest everywhere. That is the neutrality and wonderful feature of the Lord. So, and the same, and not only that, as Prabhupada is saying, Lord is present on both the persons, whether you believe on him or don't believe also. Lord is so neutral by nature that he doesn't even leave the heart of non-believer also. ऐसे नहीं कि चलो आप ये you don't believe me, ठीक है मैं जाता हूँ देखता हूँ तुम कैसे रहते हो. Not like that. He agrees to stay there also. So just like the example is given, like a mother, she doesn't discriminate between the good child and bad child, or she doesn't discriminate between the. Sometimes we see that in one home there is one very handsome boy is there and one ugly boy is there in same home. But for mother, both boys are same only. She doesn't discriminate. Oh, this is a handsome boy, or may not be that so much. But sometimes you see that there is a very intelligent girl is there in the home. Sometimes there is a not so intelligent. So both may be present in same home. One person may be very intelligent, another person may be average or not so. But for mother, there is no distinction. She doesn't say, oh, because you are intelligent, so I'll give you more food. I like you more. But he is not so intelligent. I don't like him. So mother has no such distinction. Similarly, Lord, this from Shruti Shastras Prabhupada is quoting. So Lord is also neutral like that. So he doesn't discriminate. Arey, this is Brahmana's body, so I want to live here. This is dog's body, I don't like here. Or this is bird's body. Oh, that's not so good. So Lord is same for everyone. And of course, the wonderful feature of the Lord is, despite occupying various bodies, he never gets affected by those bodies. So he's always transcendental. Means what? Means it is not that Lord is situated in a cat's body, so he's also interested to steal some milk or to catch some mouse, or when he goes to demigod's body, he's interested to do some administration of universe. Nothing like that. So Lord is not at all affected whichever body one may be. वो body soul उनका जो भी है गड़बड़ चल रहा है उनका, वो Lord just neutral. He just looks at it. He doesn't care for it. जो भी चल रहा है, he just looks. He's just present with the living entity. So another example Prabhupada would give was also just like a rich man, he may carry the dog, and dog may want to go here, there, and rich man may allow. But rich man is never himself interested in that what dog is interested in, right? Same way, Lord is not interested in the things which a conditioned soul is interested in. He is neutral, just watching. So distinction between, also Prabhupada is quoting about distinction between individual soul and super soul. So the very important distinction which we should remember is, individual soul is present only in his own body. whereas Lord is present in
Everywhere.
every body. Kshetrajnam chapi chamapi mamam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Lord says, you are also Kshetrajna, but you are only Kshetrajna of your own body. Whereas I am the Kshetrajna of all the bodies. So Prabhupada else in one lecture he was giving one example. Just like a landlord, he may have many houses. He may be owner of many houses. But a particular tenant staying in that house, he is only aware of his own house, what is happening, and he's have some understanding of it. But the lord who has many houses, he's the controller of each and every house. And he's there, like, every house is under his direction. So same way, Krishna is present in each and every person. So that's the difference. So there are so many people who propagate this theory of Atma so Paramatma. जो आत्मा है वही परमात्मा है, but that is not correct. आत्मा क्या है? वो अपने एक ही शरीर का conscious है. Atma is conscious of its own body. Paramatma is conscious of each and every body. So all our pains and pleasures, desires, thoughts, all are known by the Lord. So also Lord is saying that all beings are in me. So all beings are in me means what? That, yeah, the Lord is, everybody is situated in Lord's energy. Because Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahman, everything is Brahman also. And it is all energy of the Lord. Nothing can exist independent of the energy of the Lord. So either one is situated in material energy or one is situated in spiritual energy, right? One cannot have anything third option. That is not possible. And Lord is in all beings, so we know that he is in all beings as Paramatma. So in this way, when a yogi develops this particular vision of, then he develops the vision of equality. So nowadays, so many people are very eager to develop this conception of equality. Don't make any differentiation. They say everybody should have equal rights. Man, woman should have equal rights. Different caste people should have equal rights. But you see, from an external level, it is not possible. Equality is not possible. That's why communism fails everywhere. Why communism is failing? Because they want to establish equality on the platform of body, which is not possible. Now in communism also there is somebody called as president, right? In China, is he getting the same privilege as any ordinary person, sweeper in the street? No. So how they are equal then? There's no equality. Because on the material platform there is no equality. Equality exists only on the spiritual platform. So that's why Prabhupada wrote one article called Spiritual Communism. So we also accept communism. We also have concept of equality. But that concept of equality is not on bodily part. How it can be equality? Prabhupada would say man and woman are equal. How they can be equal on bodily part? Can man ever become pregnant? No. Isn't it? There is clear-cut distinction, right, between man and woman. Bodily there is so much of distinction. You cannot deny that artificially. Similarly, there are some people who are more rich. There are some people who are less rich. There are some people who are more intelligent. There are some people who are less intelligent. There are some people who are more beautiful looking. There are some people who are less beautiful looking. And then among different other species also. So we see that they have got different species. They have got different bodily structure. You cannot, as we discussed before also, that you cannot just because you see everyone equal, you cannot embrace a tiger saying, please come, let us embrace. He'll also say, please come. He'll chant Mahaprasade prayers before that. Lunch box aa gaya. So that's not possible. But on the spiritual level, that's how the yogi can see that there is an equality in terms of what? Spirit. So everybody is spirit soul. There is one equality. What else is equality?
Part
and parcel of Lord. So Lord is situated in everyone's heart. So that is also equality. Oh, everywhere Krishna is situated. So that's how he sees that all living entities, although they are in different situations, but according to results of pruti work, those situations are the result of one's own pruti work. Whatever different material high and low is there, that is because of one's pruti work, one's own karma. But ultimately, everybody is the servant of Lord. That is seeing. So the person who is serving his senses, he is serving the material energy, which is the material external energy of the Lord. Whereas one who is serving the Lord directly, he is serving under spiritual energy, which is also energy of the Lord. So this is the vision of Uttamadhikari. That's why he sees that everybody is devoted. Some are directly serving the Lord, some are servant of servant. Because Maya Devi is servant of Lord, so they are servant of servant of Lord. So in this way, everybody is servant of Lord. So, Rohit Pro is asking a question that how spiritual equality can be applied in this world. Spiritual equality can be applied in this world by loving everyone. Although the expression of love will be different, but one should be well-wisher and lover of everyone. One should respect everyone, one should love everyone, and one should be well-wisher of everyone. One should try to serve everyone. But the methods will not be same, but the principle will be same. So we serve cows by washing them, by feeding them grass, by worshipping cows. But we serve the dog by giving him food and not troubling him unnecessarily, beating him. Don't throw stones at dog unnecessarily, or don't try to beat him, poor creature, unnecessarily. Don't kill mosquitoes and ants. So that is how we love them. So love has to be expressed, but not in the same way. How do you love tiger? Okay, keep distance from tiger.
Not hunting.
Don't hunt them at least unnecessarily. Allow them. Don't destroy jungles. Allow them to stay. Don't capture them for your circus. Yeah, good ways. Or not. This is how you can love the tiger. But you cannot say that I love tiger, so I'll keep him next. But how you can love? How you can love the karmi person? By preaching to him. By talking to him nicely, dealing with him nicely. How do you love sannyasi? By offering him respect, by serving him, by following his instruction, by listening from him and all that. So this is how we show love towards everyone. But the method of showing love is not same for everyone because of they are situated in different bodily structures. So, but how that equality is then? That equality is in terms of loving, respecting, serving everyone. Considering essentially every life is sacred. Even though it may look very ugly, like a worm may look very ugly. Sometimes when we see worm, or particularly our mouse, chuha. So many chuhas there in our voice. And I say, they are looking so dirty, ugly. But they have to be respected because that's a sacred. So you may say, but Prabhuji, we have to capture them. Yeah, we may capture them because we have to offer that bhoga to Lord. They will spoil the bhoga. So snakes we may kill because that is also good for the snake because snake cannot come out of his body unless until he is killed. That is the only way because he always keeps on changing his skin, and in this way he never becomes old. So that's why this for that. But whatever way, but we have to respect and based on their positions. So that way we love everyone. Okay, next verse.
You are telling that yogi can see presence of God everywhere. So it is like only for bhakti yoga, Ashtanga yogi.
Ashtanga yogi also. Actually, ultimately it culminates in bhakti yoga only. Because when one is meditating on Lord, means he has become bhakta.
But then you cannot call him Ashtanga. Then he will become bhakti yogi only.
Because all yogas ultimately merge into Ashtanga bhakti yoga only. But actually, without the support of bhakti yoga, no yogi can attain any perfection in whatever yoga he is practicing also. So he has to take support of bhakti also, and ultimately it culminates in bhakti only. But then the method with which he attained that is Ashtanga yoga. So he is called Ashtanga yogi.
But just before this was we were discussing that levels. Firstly, he realized that I have to keep my body healthy. Then he realized Brahman platform. So this state, when he can see Lord everywhere, that means he becomes a devotee.
Now he has become devotee.
Before that,
before that he was practicing Ashtanga yoga. Now personal realization means he has become devotee now.
So basically, like from now we can see these verses are mainly talking about bhakti yogis.
Still they are categorized as Ashtanga Yoga because the method they adopted was not directly Bhakti Yoga. They adopted the methods of Ashtanga Yoga. So that's why they are called as categorized as Ashtanga Yogis, not directly Bhakti Yogis.
So that means they have come via this path and now they are becoming devotees.
That like 4 Kumaras. Of course, we don't know whether they practice, but they are Brahman realized. But then eventually they became devotees.
Yogi means one who is connected to Lord. So whether Ashtanga Yogi or Bhakti Yogi, he is connected to Lord. So
Yeah,
how?
but Lord means Lord can be even Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan, anything.
So one who sees everything in Lord, matlab, he has a Brahman realization. So in that way also he is understanding the presence of Lord.
Yeah, but he may understand on the impersonal aspect of the Lord. So he's cannot called as Bhakti Yogi.
No, yogi or
He can be called Yogi, but he may have connection only with Brahman aspect of the Lord. So that is also called as Yogi. Correct.
Guruji, there is also difference in realization of that the Satchitanand feature of the Lord. Like those who are like Paramatma realize they are like Satchit. They only realize the 2 aspects of the Lord, not the Anand feature of the Lord. So
Correct.
is there a like difference in that also?
Yes. Brahman realized person, he realizes only Sat feature of the Lord. And Paramatma realized person realizes Sat and Chit feature of the Lord. And Bhagwan realized Sat, Chit, Ananda, all 3 features he can realize. So, that's how it is the progression of realization also they have. So we'll take one more verse. 30th verse. Very famous verse.
What you say?
Who is reciting?
Prasad.
Prasad Prabhu? Okay.
Vishal Prabhu, if you can.
Vishal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, someone can volunteer to read.
यो मां पश्यति सर्वत्र
Not so much present.
यो मां पश्यन्ति सर्वत्र सर्वं च मयि
One we
पश्यन्ति.
will repeat after you, Vishal Prabhu. So you recite one line, we will repeat it after you.
Okay. यो मां पश्यन्ति सर्वत्र
Yo mam pashyati sarvatra
सर्वं च मयि पश्यन्ति
sarvam cha mayi pashyati
तस्याहं न प्रणश्यामि
tasaham pranashyami
स च मे न प्रणश्यति.
sajamana pranashyati.
For one, should we read translation?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. Purport. A person in Krishna consciousness certainly sees Lord Krishna everywhere, and he sees everything in Krishna. Such a person may appear to see all separate manifestations of the material nature, but in each and every instance, he is his consciousness of Krishna. Knowing that everything is a manifestation of Krishna's energy, nothing can exist without Krishna, and Krishna is the Lord of everything. This is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the development of love of Krishna, a position transcendental even to material liberation. At this stage of Krishna consciousness, beyond self-realization, the devotees becomes one with Krishna in the sense that Krishna becomes everything for the devotee, and the devotee becomes full in loving Krishna. An intimate relationship between the Lord and the devotees then exists. In that stage, the living entities can never be annihilated, nor it is not nor is the personality of Godhead ever out of the sight of the devotee. To merge in Krishna in spiritual annihilation, a devotee takes no such risk. It is stated in Brahma Samhita. Premanjana Chartura Bhakti Vilochana Santa Sadaiva Hradayeshu Vilokashanti Yasya Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the primeval Lord Govinda, who is always seen by the devotees whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love. He is seen in his eternal form of Sham Sundara, situated within the heart of the devotee. At this stage, Lord Krishna never disappears from the sight of the devotees, nor does the devotees ever lose sight of the Lord. In the case of a yogi who sees the Lord as a Paramatma within the heart, the same applies. Such a yogi turns into a pure devotee and cannot bear to live for a moment without seeing the Lord within himself.
So this verse is talking about, how devotee or whatever, yogi, this perfected yogi, he is not separated from the Lord at any moment. Why? Because how this verse begins, Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha yomai pashyati, means he sees, again same vision, he sees me everywhere and everything is in me. So such a person, he is never lost to Lord, neither Lord is lost to him ever. So means what has happened now, their intimate connection has taken place. So Purport Prabhupada explains that how Krishna consciousness fulfills this perfect vision. So Krishna conscious person sees Krishna everywhere and he sees everything is in Krishna also. So when he sees material things, what he thinks? When he is seeing material things,
The energy of Krishna.
this is the material energy of Krishna. This is manifestation of Krishna. This is one type of vision. Any other?
He is inside, like that means.
Okay, everything is lying within Krishna only. Any other?
This can be utilized in Krishna.
This can be potentially utilized in Krishna's service. Okay. Any other?
Krishna is the proprietor and enjoyer of this.
Krishna is the real proprietor and enjoyer of everything. This belongs to Krishna, isn't it? Just like when I see this one, so I can say this is Sushmit Prabhu, like that. So immediately I can remember Sushmit Prabhu by seeing this, right? Same way, when one sees everything, understand, oh, Krishna is the proprietor and enjoyer. Everything is meant for his enjoyment. Yes. Any other? How a devotee can see water? Soham apsukam. So when he sees water, he sees that taste of this water is Krishna. And when he sees sun, he is seeing that they are eyes of the Lord. So Prabhasmi, even the illumination within sun and moon is Krishna. When he is uttering sound or hearing a sound, Shabda K, he is saying in K means in the sky, the whole sound is coming because of Krishna. Krishna is that sound. And then any person he sees, Paurusham Drishu, all the ability in the person is Supreme Lord. Even the ability in a person is also Supreme Lord. Can you imagine? So all these aspects he is able to see that Lord is present in them. So in this way, although there are separate manifestations of material nature, through them also a devotee can become Krishna conscious, because he understands that everything is manifestation of Krishna's energy and nothing can exist without Krishna. Everything is situated within Krishna only. So that's how Prabhupada is saying that this Krishna consciousness is essentially development of love for Krishna. So Krishna consciousness means being conscious of Krishna everywhere. That is Krishna consciousness. Means always being conscious of Krishna. So, but when one can be conscious of Krishna like that, when this Premanjalan Churita Bali, when one has eyes of love, then one can be conscious of Krishna. Because whomever we love, we are always conscious of that person. Just like sometimes a child, he may go to school also, still mother is thinking about the child, although he is in the school and mother may be at home. Why? Because there is a love. Similarly, the devotee also, although he may be here and Lord may be in the spiritual world or whatsoever, but because of that loving sentiment for a devotee, he becomes conscious of the Lord. And in this position, one becomes transcendental even to the liberated position. Because liberated position means one is self-realized. One understands oneself as spirit soul. That is a liberated position. So liberation in general, it's a standard term. Liberation, as such, liberation can refer to anything. You know, just getting exams over is also great liberation. Right? Every software person feels Friday to be liberation day. Friday evening is so blissful. Liberation, isn't it? So that is the but these are all temporary liberation, because after that Sunday evening comes also and again bondage or after that again semester exams are over, 1 month chutti is there, and after that again college. Isn't it? Similarly, even though one may go to up to Brahman, still there is again punaravritti happens only. So that's not ultimate liberation. Ultimate liberation means mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. Getting situated in our original constitutional position in the spiritual world, that is called as mukti. But still, one type of liberation is referred to also as, one understands oneself as spirit soul. But even beyond that realization of being spirit soul is also this type of liberation, wherein one can see Krishna everywhere and one can see everything in Krishna. And in this way, the intimate relationship between the Lord and devotee is developing now. And such devotee can never be annihilated. And Lord is always visible. Santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokanti. Lord is always visible for them. They don't have to lose the sight of the Lord. They can always see the Lord. So, it is not that Lord has to come. Like Prabhupada explains so beautifully in 10th canto, that Krishna being born to Devaki is not that there was some ordinary phenomenon happened. Actually, Krishna was always there. Only he became manifest. Is Krishna not there in the womb of Devaki in general? He's there. Is he not within Devaki? Is he not without Devaki? He's everywhere. Isn't it? So only it is the matter of vision that one cannot see that. But he became Prakat. That's why that word is very appropriate. Prakat ho gaye. Prakat यानी अभी आपको दिखने लगे वो actually. Already है, but अंतर्धान stage में है. They are not visible. अप्रकट है. But while Lord's causeless mercy becomes Prakat now in front of devotee. The same way, whose heart Paramatma is not there? Everybody's heart Paramatma. But who can see? When person has that love for the Lord, he can actually see Paramatma everywhere. So it is not that, when that devotee develops love for the Lord, then Paramatma comes out from the sky and manifests over and remains over there. It's not like that. Lord is already there, but he's not visible. Why? Because Maya Javalika Chandam Adhya Dokshajam Mavayam Na Lakshase Muda Drusha Nato Natya Dharo Yatha. Kunti Maharaj says. Because Lord is covered with Yoga Maya. So just like curtain, like altar is closed. So Lord is not visible now because altar is closed by Yoga Maya. But when we develop love, then altar opens and then Lord is visible. So, but altar doesn't open by our desire. Altar opens by Pujari and Lord's desire. So same way, when a devotee develops love for the Lord out of his own causeless mercy, Lord himself reveals himself to that devotee. But that doesn't mean that Lord is not present. He is present. Everywhere Lord is present, but he becomes visible for the devotee when there is a love is developed. And then when that love is there, Lord never goes out of the sight for a devotee. So that's a prema stage actually. Bhava stage of bhakti, and the bhava stage, Lord comes and goes. It's a visible, invisible, visible, invisible. That stage that happens. But on the stage of prema, premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena, so that stage, Lord is constantly visible. Just like in the daytime, sun is always visible. Sunlight is always there. Similarly, Lord is always visible. So that's how this is the vision. So this devotee, that's why is not interested in all these kind of liberations of getting into Brahma Jyoti and all that. Because it's all risk only. Because what is the risk? Again, one may come back to material world. But when one sees that Krishna is everything, so when one becomes fully Krishna conscious, then there is no such risk. So that's how now yogi has turned into a pure devotee of the Lord. So as Sushmit Prabhu was just pointing out, so he has become pure devotee of the Lord, and he cannot be separated from the Lord even for a moment. He cannot live for a moment without seeing the Lord. So that's why we see that these great yogis, sometimes this Ashtanga yogi has achieved perfection. They also will see that they just remain in samadhi for years together, even though they may be in material world. Why? Because they are able to see the Lord, and it is such a blissful experience that Brahma Sansparsha is such a blissful experience that he cannot tolerate only that being separated from the Lord. Like for this Narada boy, Lord became visible, but he withdrew himself. And Narada boy became mad. And he was trying again and again to meditate. Lord said, no, you cannot get me now. Because you are still aparipakwa in devotional service. So next life you'll see me. So till that time you continue practicing. But ultimately that feeling of the devotee is so great that he cannot tolerate living without seeing the form of the Lord, because it is so attractive. And in this way he has become pure devotee now, and the Lord is never lost to him. So that's the way whole process works. Okay, so I think we can stop here for today because our time is up. Next time we'll begin. Tomorrow we'll begin 31st verse onwards. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
Akshay Prabhu,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
how are you? Health? I heard you have developed yogi vision and you are giving some shelter to some living entities. Seeing everyone equally. Some viruses you have given shelter in you.
They have forcefully taken shelter, bro.
They have forced you to become yogi. Poised yogi. Okay, your health is fine now?
Yes, bro. Only last week I had little bit fever. Now it's totally fine.